news part of the story. We're starting off with a big one for us.
Oh, yeah,
We got Dragon Ball Z Budokai 4 is what the fans are calling it, but pretty much a brand new Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game is announced. And yeah, that is fucking exciting. I think that this was showcased at like some Dragon Ball event that they were hosting, and they officially announced that they were making another Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game. And just, I guess, like some background reference, me and Damian grew up with these games, maybe not together necessarily, but we both played them. And I still remember playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3 at my cousin's house a lot because they love that game and I love playing it with them, obviously, and I think I showed them that game. And even my background on gaming itself is because of, shout out to my neighbor and best friend James. He introduced me and my brother Tevin to Dragon Ball Z through Budokai 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 2, and that pretty much was like, my brother was like, Dad, I want a PlayStation 2 and I want these games. So that's how we got a PS2, and that's how we got into gaming, was because of Dragon Ball Z Budokai. And obviously we followed the series as it went on, and then Budokai Tenkaichi came out, and you know, the rest was kind of history. And I love Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I know people love 3 because of its massive fucking roster and everything like that, but when I was younger and I would go back between the two games, I always thought 2 was just a lot better in terms of like the story mode and just like how the game played out. I don't know. It's been years since I played these games, obviously. I definitely want to go back and play them again. I know that there's a fan-made Budokai Tenkaichi 4 with like the super stories and everything like that, and like the characters move the exact same like janky way and shit, and I'm just that's fucking dope. And you know, whatever this game has to offer, I hope that it just lives up to the immense hype that it is having.
Yeah, like I have the same like story. Like, you know, I also grew up with like Budokai, like this regular Budokai, like 1 through 3, and then, you know, Tenkaichi came out, and then honestly I can't remember Tenkaichi 1 and 2 that much. I played them as well because I played the absolute shit out of 3. Like I played so much of 3. It's insane. I love that game like a lot. Mm-hmm. And you know, if Tenkaichi 4 could have that same magic that 3 did, I would be happy. Like, I feel like it needs a large roster. Even if most of those characters are absolute ass and have like copy movesets, I feel like it wouldn't be Tenkaichi 3 without like Cybermen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to play as Frieza Soldier 1 and 2. So yeah, like if they, you know, I feel like Tenkaichi really has a different feel from like Fighters or from even the other 3D like arena, like Xenoverse and stuff, because it really makes you it really makes you feel like you're in a Dragon Ball fight, you know, like, you know, you're dashing around everywhere, you could transform mid battle, you have your beam struggles, you could charge up your ki, and yeah, like there's just so much of like really invokes Dragon Ball and like what it feels like to be fighting in like a Dragon Ball fight and stuff, that it's amazing. And I feel like no other Dragon Ball fighter has made me feel that same way. So if Tenkaichi 4 could really have that same sort of magic that, you know, the other Tenkaichi games did, I think we'll be in a great place. And hopefully they don't like charge us too much for DLC, where it's like characters from 3 are now DLC and stuff. Like, hopefully the roster is large to begin with, because I feel like, you know, the series kind of like built that reputation of that. And hopefully the story modes and stuff are fun too. Obviously I expect super storylines now, but hopefully there's Dragon Ball Z, GT, you know, like hopefully there's the whole Dragon Ball saga in one game. I think that would be really sick. And honestly, online, right? Like online is something this series I don't think ever really had. So that's going to be interesting to see how online is going to work, really. Since, you know, I don't really think this game is like competitively viable at all. Like, I want to be Super Saiyan 4 Goku and like annihilate someone in 2 seconds. Like Omega Shenron should not be balanced, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach any of this stuff in the modern day. So, you know, I'm both very excited and anxious to see how they pull it off, you know?
Yeah, because like this is a lot of people's childhoods. This isn't just ours. You know, just going on the internet, seeing YouTube video reactions and Twitter discourse. Like, a lot of people grew up with these titles, and you know, already Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the PlayStation 2 is like a $70 to $100 game, and it's fucking crazy, even for like the greatest hits version, because people just want to play this game again. And it is it is that much fun, and I hope that Tenkaichi 4 or whatever they decide to call it is able to deliver that once again. I hope that the story mode, if it's not all of Dragon Ball Z, because that is a lot of shit to cover, I hope it's all of Dragon Ball Super within the anime anyways, because I think that, like I said before, when I was talking about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot before, it's like, you know, we've had all of these games to retell the Dragon Ball Z story over and over again. We haven't had one to really tell the super story, and I think that Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 4 can't do that. And I would love to play through Dragon Ball Super, play through the movies, the anime, everything within that universe, because it was always so much fun playing through that. And speaking of like the large roster, you know, I think that that's like the major opinion of a lot of people, is that like they want to see like every fucking character come back. But I'm of the mindset of like, as long as we get like major players and like major characters that people really, really want, you know, I'm okay if we don't get Cybermen kind of thing, because because I would much rather have them, you know, put resources towards something else, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I do think like most of the Super characters should be here. Like, all of them should be here, since, you know, like you said, Super hasn't really had like a game like this. You know, we're used to, as when we were kids, that like every Dragon Ball game would always tell the whole story over and over again. But yeah, we haven't really had that for Super. So it'd be cool if like this game kind of went for that route. And yeah, like you said, like, I mean, I would also prefer having maybe a smaller roster, but with like more unique move sets, because, you know, there's a lot of characters that have the same moves over and over again.
Yep.
Like fucking energy volley. Like, I don't want to see energy volley anymore. So it'll be cool that everyone has like a pretty unique move set and stuff. You know, I don't expect like full quality, like not to the same amount as like fighters or whatever. But yeah, I do expect a little more like, you know, not effort, but like polish, I guess, in this game than Tenkaichi 3 and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, as long as it has like the same charm and like the same, I guess, like nostalgia feeling that a lot of people remember these games back in the day for, I think we're gonna be all good. Even if like the animations are still janky and, you know, they reuse animations for certain characters, I think that that's fine. You know, I think one of the main things, like you said, was that like you could like transform like mid battle. You know, you start off as normal Goku and then you end as like Super Saiyan 4 or some shit. Yeah. And now within this game, you know, obviously they used Super Saiyan Blue to like really tease that, hey, you know, like this is gonna be a brand new Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi game. So hopefully, you know, we do get the full story of Super within the anime at least, because you know, obviously the manga's still going and they're battling whatever, you know, next powerful fucking warrior there is out there that I don't know of anyways. But yeah, I just hope that this game is able to deliver, especially on the online aspect, because I think that is something that a lot of people are looking forward to. And I think that can be a big, like, I guess, like streaming and like sort of like YouTube component to it, where like people are like battling people online and like seeing like what like the best characters are, if you will. So yeah, you know, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
It's definitely my favorite like anime arena fighter type thing, because I feel like, you know, I know Ninja Storm has a lot of fans, obviously. But I feel like Tenkaichi, like always, like knew what it was doing. So hope they could deliver on that, because I feel like a lot of like recent anime arena fighters have been just whatever. So yeah, we'll see how to do it.